The glare is terrible. The lighting is horrible. And my eyes are so puny that I don't like them without the glasses. So I've been thinking, right? Maybe get a cot frame for my bed, and they're too low, so I probably would use the Bob Wells cheap RV living trick where they take PVC pipe and cut it to the length they want it. I want 18 inches, and you just fit those right over the existing leg, and then you get your extra inches so I can put my totes underneath, or I could just leave it at the 14 inches, but I'd like to be a little higher because I'm having trouble getting up off the floor. My carpals are both bad, not ready for surgery yet, and I don't really want that. But the constant pushing to get myself up off the floor isn't helping, and then I do a lot of dishes, and that isn't helping, and so I'm trying to decide, the commitment to a cot is like saying I'm going to be here for a while, and, I'm struggling inside of me. There's two sides going on. The first side is I like to be alone. But there's that second side that really enjoys those moments when we're all just sitting around together and chatting. And like last night, Maggie was reading this little storybook that I had found. I mean, I really had to search for this. It was a storybook I read to my kids, and I wanted Finn to have it. And my boys are sitting there in Finn's room, and Maggie's reading the book to Finn, and I'm there too, and it just felt so warm and wonderful. And Mike, Denny, and I, we talk about politics, the events of the day, and just stuff, and then we all moved into the living room, and I can't quite describe it, but we mesh so well. We always have. Years ago, when Dennis said to the boys, come up to Milo, let's start a gold and silver buying business, and they did. It was happy times. They were prosperous times, and there'd always be me baking. I had a lot more going back then than I do now. We're talking how long ago? Bonnie was only like 8 or 9, I don't quite remember. And I'd always have a coffee cake on the table in the morning. Mike would always say, yeah, I'd always wake up to the smell of something wonderful cooking, and they lived with us there for a while. Then we all got this house in Hudson, Florida, and we all stayed there because it was a big house, and there were plenty of bedrooms and 2 living rooms, and so many times we've all lived together. This is a really small house, and I'm in Finn's room, and it's working, and we only have 1 bathroom, and that's working. We haven't clashed much or anything like that. I hate the lighting, especially I can't get the lighting. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe that's better. A little less glare, a little less shadow. I don't know. But so I'm just thinking about, there's that duck again. A lot of water around right now. I can understand it. I'm sorry I go off on tangents. My poor mind, it's old. I'm just not sure, should I get that bed frame and make that commitment? There's also this, it's not far from here, but there's a RV park. If you commit to a year, it's only $450 a month plus electric, and like I've said, I make $883 a month, plus whatever I get from YouTube, which is, the last time was $159. I don't know if I'll get it this time. we're halfway through the month. I'm at like $84, so I may make it to the 159. I gotta step up on my videos, and I have to add more ads. I was only doing the skip an ad, but now I've added, you might have seen, a non-skippable ad only in the beginning and at the end. And I appreciate those of you who watch them, because that's money for me. And, you know, that gives me a little bit extra, and every bit helps. But so if I go for, let's say I have $450 for park rent plus another $50 for electric, probably, right? That's $500, which leaves me with $383 plus whatever I get. Let's say $100 to be safe from YouTube. So I'd have $483, $250 of that's probably going to be food. I would like to use less, but I gotta say, if I want any kind of produce, I mean, if I don't want to just eat, you know, rice and beans, and I'm not a great lover of that, like every day, it takes about $250 a month for me to have fruit and vegetables, and I don't even eat meat. When I'm on my own, I can't afford it. With them, I mean, there's chicken every day, and beef, and, you know, definitely we eat better if I stay with them. And what else? And of course, you know, it's just nice to see them every day. At first, I was kind of clammed up, you know, and then I notice I'm falling into it better. Especially since I've been able to talk about it and mourn over my losses. I'm not going to say that it affects me every moment of every day. I'm just in such sorrow over not being a couple anymore, not seeing his face anymore, hearing his stupid jokes. I remember at the end I said, God, if you'd spare him, I swear I'll never scold his jokes ever again. That would have been hard. Keep that promise. He'd say the most outlandish things, and we'd laugh because it was so stupid or outlandish. That was Dennis. And now it's all gone. Wow. So I'm not over that, you know. I mean, just being with the family, it reminds me of those times we were all together, even when the boys were adults, you know. What a life. But so my decision on, should I get the cot? It's $100. I'm sure they're going to charge me tax because it's Florida. And then I'd be able to take those big totes that are piled on each other right now and slip them underneath, and that's actually going to give more fin room. And it's a very heavy duty, what do you call it, frame. It can take 2,000 pounds. So, you know, Mike comes into Finn's room, and where does everyone sit? On my floor bed, right? So then they'll probably sit on the framed bed, and that's fine with me. I mean, maybe I'll get like a real mattress. That would be nice, because I'm sick of having to take so many drugs to be able to relax my muscles enough to be able to tolerate what I'm sleeping on currently. I've spent money on that. That trifold bed was like at least $100, pretty sure. I have to look back in my Amazon. So, yeah, I'm just trying to weigh things and make decisions, you know. And Maggie and Mike are good for me because they're trying to eat better. And like the other day, I wanted cookies. We were at Walmart. I mean, they're everywhere. They're on the end caps. They're in the middle caps. They're smaller packs as you're going out the door. They're everywhere. You know, the register side aisles. And just been wanting cookies. Cookie love. I was going to do a I was gonna do a short song video, but they don't do very well. Only my regulars like my stupidity. But yeah, so decisions. I just feel like buying that cot frame is a decision to stay. And while, yeah, there are, yes, there are other low-income apartments around, um, they make it so difficult to apply for them, number one. There's only, there's 3 senior apartments. One of them I won't even consider. It's huge. It's noisy. I've spoke to the residents there. I do not want to go there. So that one's out of the question. I've applied to one, and then the other one, I've tried to apply before, and their website, you have to do everything on websites. It's so confusing. I tried multiple times while Dennis was still alive, and I couldn't get the application to work for me. And then I called the office, and they said, well, do this, this, and that, and I do this, this, and that, and it still didn't work. And then I tried to call back, and no one would answer, and I just gave up on that one, I wouldn't mind it. It's a really pretty building in a very centrally located place with a bus stop near and everything. I'm going to try it again. I know the name of it. I'll go on my phone and see if maybe my phone would do it better than my laptop did. I don't know. More phone calls. All the rest are out of the area, and without a car, I'm not going to see my kids very often, and I need them. I do. I admit it. I need my kids. Could I live without them? Sure, I have before, but I had Dennis then. I had somebody. I want to cry, but I won't. So, to caught or not to caught? That is the question. I'll come up with an answer. Leave a comment below. I'd appreciate your input. All of this is, so like if I go to an RV park like that one for $450 a month, I still won't be able to afford a car. I'll have to take about $8,000 and buy a camper and put it in there. But at least I'd have a camper. Motorhomes are too expensive. I'm not. And any of the ones for $10,000, they're just ancient, and it probably would take another 10 to bring it up to par. And I'm buying gold. I was right. Gold is falling along. Silver's not falling this fast, and I don't think it will. And we might see a bottom of silver at 15 an ounce, I'll bet you. And gold, I'm really, really hoping to see it hit 1,500. Then I'm buying in. If it doesn't hit 1,500 and hits about 16, I'm still buying in, because I believe it's going to rise really high in the next 3 years, and that would give me money for a home in West Virginia, which is where I really think I'd like to go. I like a little cooler summer than like Arkansas or where's the other place I was looking? I've been looking everywhere: Tennessee, Kentucky, Arkansas. But yeah, and the kids are willing to go. So once I double my money on gold, and I'm hoping at least to double it, plus my savings, if I just keep the money and I stay here, we have a chance at getting a big old house on a couple of acres together, and then we, with several bathrooms, we won't be in each other's way. So Mikey and Maggie are working so hard on this silver jewelry business, and I want to see it succeed. It's a business that lasts even during recession. Everybody wants a little something. They want to comfort themselves. They want to feel like they still have something in life, and they'll buy a $20, $30 ring, and the ones with money will buy above that. And Michael has such a good eye for buying. He's so much like his father, and I get to be here and help him with Finn. Like today, Maggie got all the promos for Uber and Michael got none. So Maggie's going to go out driving, and I know Michael, he's going to want to work on the computer. And I'll take care of Finn, and I'm here and I can do that. If I wasn't here, they'd have to come pick me up, and that's time and money, and it's just trying to make the right decisions. And I've been listening to a lot of on YouTube van life women, and they've all been struggling. Even the very tough Minivan Lee, she's sick of the struggle with the heat and trying to stay cool. And then the cat lady van, she's been having a rough time with the heat. And then there's that story chasing. She's really been having a hard time. I think she's been doing it 5 years and she's burnt out. And yeah, I'm listening to these women. I'm listening to what they're saying. And I do not tolerate heat well at all. I don't. I don't tolerate extreme cold well either. So, you know, West Virginia in the winter, that could be a problem. They do get snow, but we all miss the seasons. We're New Englanders, and you're used to spring, summer, fall, and winter. And if they could keep this house, as well as us have a cheap house fixer in West Virginia, we can always come down here for the worst of the winter. You know, we could use this as a Airbnb or however they want to do it, if they can get a loan. Right now, interest rates are, what, 5 to 7%, and we're just going to have to wait and see, I guess. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Decisions to make and thoughts to think, and yeah, that's my life now, and I do want to be comfortable. I like my comforts at my age. I still want to go camping and, you know, carousing, but I want to have a place to come home, too. When I left last September and I went up north, and I tried to do it in my little tiny subcompact, you know, that car would have never worked out for camping. Just wouldn't. There wasn't enough room, enough space, and I was really jammed in there with my stuff. And I gotta have a little portable potty, because when I gotta go, okay? So, yeah. To be able to afford everything I want, it would be wisest to stay with my kids. That's the way it goes. That's it. I'm going now. Please pray for Cam T. She's going through a lot right now. Let's not forget Esther, whose husband's home from the hospital, and that all goes well. And Rapture Prepping, I haven't heard from you in a long time. Maybe my political rant sent him. He was not feeling well. Please pray for Rapture Prepping, and let us know how you're doing. And anybody else who's looking for prayers, just leave it down below, and I'll do a special video for just prayers. So, and I'm okay. I appreciate your prayers, and I thank you for them, because they help. They do. You put that out into the universe, and God and the angels hear it and answer the call. Sometimes we don't get what we want, I know, but sometimes we get acceptance, and acceptance is the key, as my dear friend Bruce always said. Yep, that's it. I've been drinking way too much coffee, and I think I want another cup. Wish I had a cookie. Bye. Well, come on.